I'm now delighted to invite Mr. Sylvain Laurent, the Executive Vice President of the Global Field Operation Asia-Oceania, Worldwide Business Transformation Dassault Systèmes, the man with the longest title in the room, I think, to the stage to deliver the Dassault Systèmes executive presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, please make him welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We are at the end of this session, and first of all, I'm very delighted to be in Adelaide, in Australia, for this first forum of the world, because we organize a forum in the 12 geo in the world, across the world. And we started by Adelaide and Australia this year, so it's very good news in a fantastic place. By the way, the stadium, I don't know if you like it, but for me, it's quite like a cricket party, but it's, but it's good. Thank you so much for all the speakers. We learned a lot. We got a lot of messages, information, experiences. As Philippe said, know-how and knowledge. Let's talk maybe about know-how. And, you know, I believe that the system, it's virtual worlds to improve the real worlds. I think that what is missing in this slide is two worlds. It's virtual and digital. Virtual is important. Virtual is you have seen all this afternoon how the virtual help for city, for submarine, for workforce of the future, for Wichita. So how do we increase the capacity of simulation? That's what is most important to improve the real. But digital is important too. Digital is important to reduce, make shorter the time and the distance between the people, between the companies, between the countries. And you are here a good example, because Adelaide and Australia is far from the world. You could tell me New Zealand is a little more far, but at the end, far from everything, but very close from everybody. And it's a proof that we are doing here. Dassault Systèmes is 35 years of innovation. 35 years when across the world, across the 12 industries that we try to serve, that we bring value. We start up like Elixir, this new company, to deliver a new aircraft in just 1 year. Just 1 year. Use the cloud solution and factually make the first test end of last year, and it's now ongoing on the market. You know, certainly in the middle, the new engineering construction capacity with the foundation of LVMH in Paris with Vuitton. Frank Gehry, the architect, used also the platform and the new technology to build such a new building like this. What he said, by the way, if you have any chance to visit Paris, take 1 minute to visit this fantastic museum, because without the digital, I can tell you, it's impossible. I will not comment everything, but you see innovation, you see the virtual for many domains. Scientific, medical, you recognize maybe on the left the Solar Impulse project in the solar aircraft. They are ongoing, by the way, to prepare a new Solar Impulse 2. So it's a proof that without the simulation, it was impossible to succeed of this project. And in the middle, you see 3 Nobel Prizes. That's new too. Now Nobel Prize and PhD people use the technology and digital, you know, to serve themselves, to serve the world. That's the most important. I will not comment virtual Singapore because George did better than me. But every time when I listen to him, honestly, I'm impressed. Because it's certainly one of the most complex model data in the world. And it's certainly one of the most ambitious programs compared to everything that we're doing. Certainly the next step will be the human body at the end. However, you, all of you here, as of the world, you are our force. You represent the force of innovation. All our customers from the last 35 years, leaders in each domain, you know, help us to push us to deliver the best in terms of technology, in terms of new approach, in terms of digital. See what a good example today, because we're working from many years now together. But we demonstrate that with the new capacity of the digital and the technology, we could improve certainly better and better the capacity for submarine, but not only this. The industry renaissance is here. Alors, here is not only the 21st century, yes, but here in Australia too. Because you demonstrated, and it's my observation from the last 2 years, how it's possible in a country like Australia that we renew all the industry. We will see later some, but Industry 4.0, as Sir Angus said, is yesterday. It's really yesterday. Today we are in the digitalization. Everyone, you are. And all the speakers that we met today was a demonstration of this. Maker and innovators, tomorrow, maybe for me it's today also. CT is an example about makers and innovators. And yes, in the near future, it's the next step. Adam Ray, who made an introduction at the beginning, asked me the question during the lunchtime, Sylvain, what will be the next for us in Adelaide when we started together with Virtual Shipyard? I said, makers and innovators. The next step is move from digitalization to this new area. And the new area is how to use effectively the collaborative platform. How do you connect the dots? How do we accelerate the way to simulate and to test many solutions? And to do it, we have not to forget 3 pillars: social, industry, and experiences. We are definitely in the new economy, experience economy. But the social is very important, because the connection between everybody in the company, outside the company, with the ecosystem, between the country. So it seems, well, not completely yet at the Star Wars, but it's my dream, by the way, to be sure that, as in India, maybe we need the 7 life to be sure that we will test the future. But no, I'm serious about this. Social and industry focus will be important, and experiences, yes. Because if we want to really improve the future and bring more value for our children, for the next generation, we have to consider experiences. And in any industry today, what we would like everyone, someone talk about the smartphone, this is an experiences, but what could be the next after the smartphone? Maybe ask to Apple, I don't know, but definitely it will happen something. If you look at automotive, George say no, maybe no more car in Singapore. Maybe not a car, but definitely a new transport mobility capacity. What will be? We see today autonomous car. Someone just 3 years ago said, well, it's a joke. In 2018, it's no more a joke. It's a reality. So we have to manage some regulation, rules, etc. But from technological point of view, it works. The autonomous car exists. So just like this is not a joke if we're talking about innovation. You have to consider that 50% of your life, if I'm considering in this case that we will be around 90 years, maybe in Australia you will move to 100, but me as friend I'm thinking 90 is okay. But 50% of our time, quite 50%, we are free to think about innovation. If you look at the time to sleep, the time to work, and the time of education, let's seriously consider that how do we use this 50% of our time? You could tell me, okay, let's go more barbecue on the beach maybe, and something like that, but more seriously, it's a lot of time to learn more and to think about what could be the next step, to be more creative. And the impact of innovation is for everywhere. With two types of industry. Industry of reference. They are very challenged now. Airbus, like Boeing, like Cessna, automotive sector, for sure. It's a permanent revolution, I could say, every week. If you look at China, for example, currently, quite every week there is an announcement from anyone about automotive. Electric car, connected car, autonomous car, and something new. And engineering construction too. What is the beauty of this is anyone today, I can tell you, and anyone in Australia too, I will see later about this, manage a complete transformation, and the digital is absolutely useful for them, because without this capacity, they can't. But everyone today prepare the future. And they have other challenges. Challenges are the startup, what I call industry shakers. It's really shakers, because they bring some trouble across the world, but with fantastic project, because everyone, they deliver project based on a business model. So it's no more just innovation like an idea, it's also innovation with a business model, and it's going very, very well. Let's see a video now about what could be effectively the shakers. All innovators, yes, we have all innovators. That's a movie based on the reality. And the reality is the Fab Lab that we created 3 years ago. And every day, I encourage you, by the way, Pascal and Adam, I don't know if Adam is here, but we have to consider this in Adelaide. Because the young generation, and sometimes not only the young, by the way, they have an incredible capacity with no limit about the creation. And this video is just an example, but basically many of the result of the Fab Lab is a reality of industrial project now. And come back to jump to Australia, a lot of opportunities. Yes, I want today to highlight with you this, because you are, Philippe said, let's start, but we started, Philippe. We started with virtual shipyard. We started with the state of South Australia, and let's now create the dynamic to maybe manage the gap. And we started with some customers, like ESC for sure, that we have seen today, and the government of South Australia, but we will see a video about this, and BHP and the mining. Mining is a very old industry, like shipyard, by the way. Certainly the same age or something like that. But we are on the way to transform completely the way to consider the mine. The digitalization is ongoing well, and BHP is a very clear example about this. But let's see specifically of South Australia to show that it's a reality.
South Australia and its economy is at an inflection point, so we're coming out of an industrial era that has been in place for a number of decades, and we're transitioning to a modern industrial economy. The digitisation of our industrial base and the skills required are going to be critical to that future. So the major challenge for the state at the moment is the transition of our economy from what was an industrial era of establishing supply chains around big OEMs, is moving to a new modern industrial base that's supplying into multiple industry sectors, and digitisation of our economy is a fundamental pillar to that. So the virtual shipyard plays a key role as a catalyst for that drive of digital change.
To bring disruptive capacity with the digital world, you need to touch the people. You need also to teach the people. And to do it, one of the most important capacity is to create this innovation center, focus for some industry, like today we are talking about virtual shipyard in Adelaide, but could be extended to city, energy, high-tech, space, some other industry. Other topic is very important for me is to bring and embark with this university. So to create like a collaboration way based on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform, because we have to break the silo and to be sure that all communities from student, industry, government are in the same way to communicate in the same direction.
It's going to involve many businesses, educational institutions, the South Australian government, the Australian government, companies like Dassault who are global, Australian companies like ASG Group doing the IT back-end systems. That collaboration will be something that really the likes of Australia has never really seen before.
Looking at the consolidated academics, the governments, and all the different players coming together and having that joint common goal on making this project successful, a 50-year project that includes ships, submarines, the ability to become part of the ecosystem, the ability to create jobs, the ability to, I would say, really motivate college students coming out and say, I want to work for this company because they're a part of this huge project that's world-class, that's leading, that's getting a lot of attention.
There could be a big opportunity for us to be leading an industry, a community into the future. The state governments got the drive, the initiatives, the people on the ground that want to do something about bringing the industry up and making use of that opportunity.
I think a key advantage of the project is a single source of truth. We're all accessing the same digital piece of information. It's accurate and it's timely.
We have the relationships, we have the expertise, we have the experience with our customers here in Australia. So to introduce them now to the Dassault 3D platform is something that really gives us an edge, I believe.
We see the program enabling us to globally compete in a true sense with other manufacturers who are already servicing primes, particularly in the European space.
The short-term benefits of the participation in the program are that the SMEs participating will develop the necessary skills and competencies in the digital environment to position them for participation in the upcoming naval shipbuilding programs. The medium to long-term benefit is those firms then embed those digital competencies into their business that will position them for further opportunities in adjacent markets, but also to position them as globally relevant and able to export their capability and competence to overseas markets.
So it's approved. Let's go, let's use this, and I believe that based on this virtual shipyard program, we could extend to some other capacity like Wichita, that you are seeing in America. That's a way to embark a new generation, to embark everyone, partner, companies. We received last week in Paris a strong delegation from Australia with small and medium business company on the defense, and they learn a lot and they will be ready to use the cloud. So we are your partner from South Australia, partner from companies, to help you, because think that industry renaissance is not only a technology topic. we have to think about the change management, and the customer transformation is key. And we talk a lot about the new generation, but we have also us to consider. And I'm not sure I'm completely new generation, but at the end, after 30 years in the in the digital world, maybe we still stay young. But transformation is very important. I will conclude by what we started from the beginning of the day, is the 3DEXPERIENCE platform as a business platform. This compass created at Dassault Systèmes in '86, by the way, but in '86 we just thinking about the 3D modeling apps because it was the maturity of the technology. Today, it's a real platform. It's an online platform with the real data, and it's very, very important to be in real time. The force of this platform is this, to be real time. By the way, if not, a program like Virtual Singapore doesn't work. But it's also social and collaboration apps because we need to embark everyone, and definitely simulation, as I said, will be the force of the future. Thank you so much for your attention today, and thanks a lot for all speakers for this first forum, and for sure see you soon in our virtual world. Thank you.